Hi everyone, RW here, and welcome to Off Topic, the program that talks about anything and everything except personal relationships. We're starting June, and I hope your June is starting off really well. I hope the first half of 2017 has been spectacular for all of you who are watching. And I'm pleased to go and introduce a new segment to Off Topic, and I'm not sure whether it's going to be an ongoing segment every episode or it's going to be as required, but we're going to keep this segment moving forward because I think it's got really good merit. And the title of this brand new segment I'm introducing right now is Doing Right. Now, Doing Right is a segment where I'm going to be looking at news stories where it's individuals or organizations or groups where they come across really tough situations and they've had to make a decision. And in some cases, making that decision isn't going to be popular. And it boils down to being, yeah, but this is the right thing to do. And so I want to start with this news piece. Now, I happen to be a kind of a news fanatic. I like to go and keep abreast of what's happening in my own city, my country, and globally. So I do read a daily newspaper, and I also watch a lot of online video to get different political opinions because I'm kind of a political junkie as well. But this story happens to deal with a newspaper. And the newspaper is in the state of Montana, specifically the city of Billings. So their local newspaper is called the Billings Gazette. And to give you a little bit of background about how this story evolved, the Billings Gazette, the Editorial Board, had been talking to candidates that were running in a special election statewide for a congressional representative to the U.S. Congress. And the editorial board had decided among the candidates that were running for this special election that a particular individual had gotten the endorsement of the newspaper. All right, and that's clear cut. They had talked with the candidates. They had gone their positions. They had done background stories on all of them, and the editorial board thought that this would be the best candidate to represent the state of Montana in that legislative body. Okay, no problem. Well, the story kind of got interesting a day prior to the special election being held. The day prior, this particular candidate that got the endorsement was talking with some other reporters, and a reporter had asked this candidate a very simple, straightforward question with respect to health care. And the candidate gave a response, which was kind of a brush off because there's an audio of this event occurring. So the reporter then again asked a follow-up question trying to get clarification about actually what the candidate's position was. And the candidate went and physically put his hands on the reporter and body slammed. And originally it would be alleged assault, but it's important to note that a couple days after the candidate actually ended up going and apologizing, and so it's an admission that yes, there was this reporter was assaulted, and also besides having the audio tape as proof, there was also a television crew setting up for the next interview. So they all witnessed this. So it's pretty clear cut that yes, this candidate went and physically put his hands on this reporter and slammed him to the ground. So it's assault. So I would like to read you what the editorial Board had written as a response to this particular situation. Now, you gotta realize this is the day before the election. And this is a real tough situation because the newspaper is a business. It relies on advertisers to advertise in the paper, to produce revenue, to go and employ all those people, and to pay for the printing of the paper, and to go and get it distributed, and pay the reporters and the production people and the graphic and everybody involved that's needed to go on a daily basis to get you a daily newspaper. There's a lot riding on this. So there's the advertising revenue. It's going to be affected by their response to this. Their subscribers, the readers, are they going to take a position where if they go and basically say it's nothing, there's going to be an outcry because this is somebody who's being assaulted. If they go and they say no, we're not going to tolerate this, then anybody that takes the opposite view is going to be offended by this. So there are those sorts of questions that are going to be asked, and even among their own staff, they probably had debate on this. But I'm pretty sure the way this editorial piece was written, that there was no minority opinion. And they begin this editorial piece by saying, "We're at a loss for words," and I will be very honest with you. That got my attention. And it follows up by saying, "And as people who wrangle words as people who wrangle words on a minute-by-minute basis, that doesn't happen often." And I'll read the next little piece. It says, what happens even less, hopefully never again, is a Montana candidate assaulting a reporter. While there are still questions left unanswered about, and I'm going to leave the name of the candidate out and the name of the reporter, eyewitness accounts, law enforcement investigations, and records are all shocking, disturbing, and without precedent. And another little piece on this, that's why the Billings Gazette Editorial Board is also doing something without precedence. We're rescinding our editorial endorsement. Now, when I read this, they're serious. The leadership of this newspaper had a real tough situation. It wasn't one of their reporters, but it could have easily been one. And they're saying it didn't matter whether it was a reporter. It's assault, and we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to endorse it, and we're taking this position. And that's a real tough call to make. Like I say, in the business of newspapers, where newspapers are under tremendous pressure for their survival, financial survival, it's going to be tough because your decision to go and pull this, and they've never done this before. So something happened where it had to be done. And I will read a little more of this. Although we're greatly troubled by this action against a member of the media who was just doing his job, to make this an issue of media intrusion or even a passionate defense of the role of a free press during an election would be to miss the point. If what was heard on the tape and described by eyewitnesses is accurate, the incident is nothing short of assault. We wouldn't condone it if it happened on the street. We wouldn't condone it if it happened in a home or even at a late night bar fight. And we couldn't accept it from someone who is running to become Montana's lone congressional representative. So that's really strongly written. We will not stand by that kind of violence, period. And I respect that. I really do. And then a little more of this because I smile, and I smile in the sense that it shows the depth of the integrity and the leadership of the editorial board and of the newspaper. While we clearly made a poor choice in our original endorsement, an even bigger mistake would have been to stand by it or say nothing, even though this editorial appears on election day and may open us to criticism of trying to unduly influence the outcome. We pointed out that all the other questions, interactions the candidate had with the reporter, including one case where he joked about ganging up on a reporter, must now be seen through a much more sinister lens. What he passed off as a joke at the time now becomes much more serious. To the voters who have not voted yet, we simply urge you to evaluate each candidate very carefully and to make the best choice. And that you can, if you're really interested in the entire editorial piece, I would encourage you to go to the Billings Gazette's website, and you can read it. It's actually a really, really good piece. It's well written, and this is the sort of thing where this is tough, but this was the right thing to do. There's too much violence in society, and we can probably all agree to that. It's taking a stand, and this would probably be unpopular with the candidate that actually did win. It's probably anybody who supports the candidate is probably not going to like this position, but from an ethics standpoint, this was the right decision to make. So I really go and commend the editorial staff and all of the people at the Billings Gazette, because when faced with a really tough decision, you actually ended up doing right. So you have every right to be take pride in your newspaper and your leadership, your people, because you have credibility, you have integrity, and quite frankly, if I ever end up in Billings, Montana, I'm definitely going to go and buy your daily newspaper when I visit. So with that being said, if you're really interested in pursuing ethics, there's a great organization in Canada. It's called the Ethics Practitioners Association of Canada. It's EPAC. And if you're interested, you can get a lot of information off their website with respect to learning more about ethics in business, in academia, in government, in corporations. From an individual standpoint, there's a lot you can learn. If you want to pursue a career, you want to pursue a study of ethics, it's a great place. It's a great place to start. So with that all said, we're going to take a short break, and then I'm going to do something real special because I am so pleased with what the Billings Gazette editorial board did with this, because it's a real tough situation, and I want to give you a reason to celebrate. So I'm going to dedicate the next 14 daily reasons to celebrate to the Billings Gazette in Billings, Montana, because quite frankly, folks, you've earned that. And we'll be right back.
Hello, and welcome to our website. Successful in Finding Love.co is a website dedicated to providing information, insight, and inspiration in the area of personal relationships. Here, You will find written content and an expanding library of videos. We also have a number of social media properties, which include our YouTube channel. You can find exclusive video releases on our Facebook page. And we are also on Google+. We also produce the video series OFFtopic, the program that talks about anything and everything, except personal relationships. New episodes are released every 2 weeks. To keep you updated, we would love to have you sign up and subscribe to our website. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. Again, thank you for visiting, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
And welcome back, everybody. Before we get to daily reasons to celebrate, I want to just say that I suggest, and hopefully you'll listen to me. To everybody watching, do me a favor and support your local newspaper. Your local newspaper is a vibrant contributor to your community, to the quality of your life. It employs individuals. It keeps you abreast of what's happening in your city or your province or your country or your state. It employs a whole lot of people, so that's good for your economy. It allows you, and more importantly, it allows the communication of information to go and give you the ability to have a platform to go and express your opinions. And it acts as a check to go and make sure that government is accountable to the people. So those are all wonderful things. And if you don't subscribe to a daily paper, definitely consider subscribing, because you're going to get a wealth of entertainment and knowledge and information, which is good for you. You're going to support your local community. You're going to support your independent paper, which is really good. And when you get editorial boards like they have over at the Billings Gazette, you definitely want to support them, because it's good for everybody in so many ways. So I'm going to dedicate this Daily Reasons to Celebrate to you, the Billings Gazette, and here they are right now. And welcome back, everybody. And we're going to wrap up this episode of Off Topic, and we might as well go and wrap it up the way we normally do. We're going to talk about the big challenge. And the big challenge, if you haven't watched our program before, is something that we decide to do to go and help to build subscribership and viewership of Off Topic and of our website, love.co. And we decided that we wanted to do things a little differently, so we set up a friendly competition between two countries, those being Japan and the United Kingdom. And we wanted a friendly competition to go and put both of those countries in direct competition to go and see which one of them would give us the most number of subscribers in either one of their countries. And the winner would obviously get a minimum of a nice token segment in 2018 on their country. So we started the year out at 0-0 as the score, and our Mexican standoff continues to go on and on and on and on. And I wish I could tell you that things have changed, but no, we're still at a 0-0 tie. Absolutely, as I said earlier, it's great if you have a 0-0 tie for a soccer game, but that's not what we want. So we're going to hope that if you live in the UK, you live in Japan, or you're watching this and you know somebody that lives in the United Kingdom or is in Japan, you may want to go and politely go and nudge them to say, hey, you know what? All you have to do to go and take the lead in this competition between Japan and the United Kingdom is actually go and subscribe. One person and you're in the lead. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching this episode of Off Topic. Again, I want to give my best wishes to all the people that are responsible on a daily basis of putting together the Billings Gazette, because you made a big impression on me. Because you called it right. You absolutely did the right thing, and you did it with class. So my absolute highest regards for your organization. And hopefully maybe in the near future I'll actually visit Montana again. It's been a number of years since I've been to your good state. And as always, we'd love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we want you to keep watching this space because it's important. And we will see you down the road. And hopefully your June started out well, and it gets better as the month goes on. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you. Bye for now.